Let me share something that many older men don't realize about themselves. You might look in the mirror and think you've lost your charm, or that youth is the only time anyone notices you. But the truth is, attractiveness doesn't disappear with age. It changes form. It deepens. It becomes something richer and more meaningful. You don't have to be a young man to be attractive. In fact, if you can still do certain things, you are more attractive than you think. You might not see it. Maybe the world doesn't shout it loud enough. But from my experience, these 7 signs prove you're an attractive older man, especially in age gap relationships where youth and wisdom find a curious balance. If you can still do these things, you are a man who holds a unique and magnetic power. The first sign is confidence. Not the loud, showy kind, but the quiet assurance that comes from knowing who you are. When you walk into a room and carry yourself with calm certainty, people notice. You don't need to prove yourself or rush to impress. You have lived through storms and sunshine. You have learned what matters and what doesn't. That confidence is irresistible because it says you are comfortable in your own skin. I have met many younger men full of energy but lacking this groundedness, and many women are drawn to the older man who can simply be himself. If you still have that, you are attractive. The second sign is kindness. This is not about being soft or weak. It is about having a heart that understands pain, joy, and the human experience. Older men who have kindness in their eyes and words show a depth that younger men often lack. This kindness builds trust and warmth in relationships. I have found that when you show genuine care and listen more than you speak, you become a magnet for meaningful connections. Kindness is the silent language of attraction. If you still treat others with respect and empathy, you are an attractive older man. The third sign is the ability to hold a good conversation. This might sound simple, but it is a powerful tool. If you can still engage with curiosity, listen intently, and share stories that hold meaning, you capture attention. In a world often filled with noise and distraction, the older man who can sit down and truly connect is rare. Age gap relationships often thrive on this exchange of wisdom and youthful energy. When you can talk and listen with equal grace, you create a space where others feel valued. That is incredibly attractive. Fourth, physical health matters more than ever. I don't mean you need to run marathons or have a perfect body, but if you can still take care of your body, move with purpose, and maintain energy, it shows strength and vitality. This vitality is attractive because it signals you respect yourself and are ready to live life fully. Taking care of yourself physically sends a message that you are not done yet, that you still have passion and drive. Women and younger partners notice this. So if you can still enjoy walks, hobbies, or even simple daily tasks with ease, that is a sign you are attractive. The fifth sign is your sense of humor. Life can be hard, especially as we age. The ability to laugh, especially at yourself, is a rare and wonderful trait. Humor breaks down barriers and creates connection. If you can still make others smile or laugh, or find joy in small moments, you bring light into people's lives. This light is magnetic. Age gap relationships often benefit from this playfulness because it balances maturity with fun. If your wit is still sharp and your laughter genuine, you carry a powerful charm. The sixth sign is emotional resilience. If you have learned to face life's ups and downs without losing your center, you are attractive. Emotional resilience means you can handle conflict, disappointment, or change without falling apart or becoming bitter. It means you have wisdom to share and strength to support others. Many younger people admire this trait in older men because it offers stability in a world of uncertainty. If you still rise after setbacks and keep your heart open, that strength draws people in. Finally, the seventh sign is authenticity. The older you get, the more you realize how freeing it is to be yourself without masks or pretense. If you have embraced your true self, flaws and all, and live honestly and openly, you shine with a rare beauty. Authenticity attracts because it invites others to be themselves too. Age gap relationships often thrive when both partners feel safe to show their true selves. If you live your life with honesty and courage, you embody a form of attractiveness that cannot be copied. If you find yourself nodding at these signs, you might be surprised by how attractive you really are. You don't have to look like a movie star or have endless energy. The kind of attraction that matters in old age is deeper, built on character, experience, and presence. This kind of attraction invites meaningful relationships that go beyond the surface. Younger partners often seek this kind of connection because it offers something fresh and grounding. They are drawn not just to your age, but to the qualities you have cultivated over time. When you show up as a confident, kind, engaging, healthy, humorous, resilient, and authentic man, you become someone who inspires and captivates. Many older men shy away from these truths because society often tells them they should fade into the background. But that is a lie. Your years bring you a kind of attractiveness that only grows if you nurture it. These 7 signs are proof that you still hold a magnetic power. If you can still live these truths daily, you are more than attractive. You are a man who embodies the richness of life. So if you are wondering about age gap relationships, remember that youth and age are not opposites but complements. Your life experience offers wisdom and strength. Your presence offers stability and depth. Your ability to be yourself invites genuine connection. These qualities draw others to you naturally. If you ever doubt your attractiveness, look at these 7 signs. See where you stand and celebrate the power you hold. You might not realize it, but your life, your character, and your spirit shine brightly. That light is attractive in ways that go far beyond the surface. Remember, attraction in old age is not about chasing youth. It is about embracing the man you have become and living fully with dignity and passion. If you can still do these 7 things, you are not just attractive. You are someone who commands respect and inspires love. That is a treasure no one can take away. So stand tall, older man. Carry your years like a badge of honor. Know that you are attractive, not despite your age, but because of what you have learned, endured, and become. The right people will see you, appreciate you, and cherish the unique light you bring into the world. And in that, you will find the deepest kind of connection and happiness. Now let's clear some common questions. How can embracing vulnerability alongside strength improve an older man's appeal in age gap partnerships? Vulnerability and strength. 2 words that might seem like they pull in opposite directions. Yet when embraced together, they create a powerful force. I have lived many years and walked through countless experiences, and one lesson stands clear. An older man who can be both strong and vulnerable holds a unique kind of appeal, especially in relationships with younger partners. Age gap relationships bring their own challenges and beauty, and it is this blend of openness and resilience that can truly deepen connection and attraction. For many years, I believed strength meant always being tough, unshakable, and in control. Society often tells men, especially older men, to keep their guard up, to hide any cracks or softness. We were taught to be the rock, the provider, the one who never falters. But as I grew older, I realized that strength without vulnerability is hollow. It can become a fortress that keeps others out instead of inviting them in. When I learned to allow myself to be vulnerable, to show my fears, doubts, and emotions alongside my steady presence, I discovered a new kind of strength that was magnetic. In age gap relationships, this is especially important. Younger partners often come with fresh energy, curiosity, and different ways of seeing the world. They are not just looking for a strong figure or a steady hand. They seek someone who can share honestly, someone real. When an older man embraces vulnerability, he shows that he is not perfect or invincible, but human and relatable. This honesty creates a bridge of trust that no facade of strength alone can build. I remember early in my journey, I was hesitant to share my fears about aging or my worries about the future. I thought admitting these things would make me appear weak or less attractive. But I found that when I dared to speak openly about my struggles, my partner responded with empathy and respect. She did not see me as less of a man. Instead, she saw my courage in revealing my true self. That courage is a form of strength that resonates deeply. It says, I am enough, even with my imperfections. Strength, when paired with vulnerability, becomes a grounding force. It reassures a younger partner that while life has challenges, you face them head-on and are willing to be open about the journey. This kind of strength is not about dominating or controlling, but about standing firm with an open heart. It creates space for mutual growth and understanding, which is the foundation of any lasting relationship. Another aspect is emotional availability. Younger partners often desire someone who can meet them emotionally, not just physically or intellectually. When an older man allows himself to be vulnerable, he becomes more emotionally accessible. He can listen deeply, share his feelings, and respond with empathy. This breaks down barriers and builds intimacy. Without vulnerability, strength can feel distant or intimidating. But with vulnerability, strength becomes approachable and comforting. There is also the beauty of shared humanity. Everyone, regardless of age, has fears, hopes, and insecurities. When you show your vulnerabilities, you invite your partner to do the same. This mutual openness creates a profound bond. It says, we are on this journey together, not as perfect beings, but as real people. In age gap relationships, this shared vulnerability can bridge the differences in life experience and create a connection rooted in authenticity. I recall a time when my partner and I faced a difficult moment. Instead of hiding behind a mask of strength, I chose to be honest about my feelings of uncertainty. That moment of vulnerability brought us closer than any grand gesture could. It reminded us both that love thrives in honesty, not in pretending to be invulnerable. That lesson has stayed with me and shaped how I approach all my relationships. Moreover, embracing vulnerability alongside strength teaches patience and compassion. When you are open about your struggles, you learn to be kinder to yourself and others. This gentleness enhances your appeal because it creates a safe emotional environment. Younger partners often appreciate this safety because it allows them to explore their own feelings without fear of judgment. It fosters a relationship where both people can grow and heal. One must also understand that vulnerability is not about weakness, but about courage. It takes bravery to let down your guard after years of conditioning to stay strong at all costs. That bravery itself is attractive. It signals emotional maturity and a willingness to evolve. Younger partners sense this maturity and often find it deeply appealing. It shows that you are not stuck in old patterns but open to new ways of relating. Physical presence is another place where vulnerability and strength intersect. As we age, our bodies change, and sometimes we feel less certain about ourselves. Admitting those feelings rather than hiding them can be liberating. It invites your partner into your experience rather than creating distance. When you accept yourself fully, including your vulnerabilities, you radiate confidence that draws people in. This confidence is more lasting and real than any youthful bravado. Embracing vulnerability also means asking for support when needed. Older men sometimes struggle with this because they want to be the ones who provide and protect. But relationships are about give and take. Allowing yourself to receive care shows humility and trust. It strengthens the bond and shows that you value your partner's presence and contribution. This mutual exchange of care deepens attraction and connection. Another powerful benefit is the freedom to be authentic. When you combine strength with vulnerability, you no longer need to pretend to be someone you are not. This authenticity shines through and makes you genuinely attractive. Younger partners often appreciate this honesty because it contrasts with the performative roles many people play in society. Being your true self invites others to relax and be themselves too. In my many years, I have seen how couples who embrace vulnerability grow closer over time, even in age gap relationships where differences could create distance. It is vulnerability that creates intimacy and strength that holds it steady. Together, they form a balance that nurtures love and respect. Without vulnerability, strength can feel like isolation. Without strength, vulnerability can feel like fragility. But together, they are the dance of a healthy, attractive partnership. To older men wondering how to embrace this balance, I offer this advice. Start small, share a fear, admit a doubt, or express a feeling you usually keep hidden. Notice how it feels to be open. Watch how your partner responds. Over time, this practice builds trust and deepens your connection. Pair this with your natural strength, your wisdom, stability, and life experience. And you become a partner who is not just attractive, but truly captivating. Remember also that vulnerability is a gift to yourself. It frees you from the burden of always having to be strong. It lets you experience life fully with all its ups and downs. This fullness enriches your relationships and your own sense of joy. It makes you more alive and interesting. Younger partners are drawn to this vibrancy because it is a reminder that life is about growth and connection at every age. In closing, I want to say that embracing vulnerability alongside strength transforms more than just your appeal. It transforms your life, It opens doors to deeper love, richer friendships, and a greater sense of peace. In age gap relationships, this balance bridges worlds and creates something beautiful and lasting. So do not fear vulnerability. Welcome it as a sign of true strength. In doing so, you will find a new kind of attractiveness that goes far beyond the surface and touches the heart. What practical steps can older men take daily to embody these 7 signs of attractiveness more fully? I want to speak honestly with you about something I have learned through many years of living and learning. Attractiveness in older men is not just about looks or fleeting charm. It is about qualities that grow deeper with time and experience. If you remember the 8 signs we talked about before, confidence, kindness, good conversation, physical health, humor, emotional resilience, and authenticity, you'll understand that embodying these signs daily can transform how you feel about yourself and how others see you. But how do you do that in practical, everyday ways? Let me share some of the steps I have taken and seen others take to live these qualities fully, not just in moments, but as a way of being. First, let us talk about confidence. True confidence is quiet and steady. To build this every day, start with small acts of self-respect. Wake up and look in the mirror, not to criticize, but to acknowledge yourself. Speak kindly to yourself as you would to a dear friend. Set small goals for your day, like going for a walk or calling an old friend, and complete them with intention. Confidence grows through action. The more you show up for yourself, the more that confidence takes root. Remember, confidence is less about what others think and more about how you carry your own spirit. Practice standing tall, making eye contact, and speaking with clarity, even about simple things. These small moments accumulate into a steady, attractive presence. Kindness is another pillar that you can practice daily. It does not require grand gestures. It can start with a smile to a stranger or holding the door open for someone. It can be listening fully when a friend shares a story without interrupting or judging. Kindness means being present and compassionate, even when you feel rushed or tired. One simple habit is to practice gratitude each morning. Think of a few things or people you appreciate and let that feeling guide your interactions. Kindness not only changes how others see you, but softens your heart, making you more approachable and genuine. Good conversation is a skill that grows when you practice listening more than speaking. Every day, try to listen without planning your response. Let others finish their thoughts and ask open-ended questions that invite deeper sharing. Share your stories with honesty, but keep them relevant and engaging. Practice being curious about people's lives without judgment. This habit opens doors to meaningful connections. It also teaches patience and humility, which older men often have in abundance but may forget to use fully. Conversation is a dance, not a monologue, and practicing that daily will enrich your relationships. Physical health may feel like a challenge as we age, but it is a vital part of attractiveness and well-being. Daily movement is the foundation. It can be as simple as stretching in the morning, walking around the block, or doing gentle exercises that suit your body. The key is consistency, not intensity. Nourish your body with wholesome foods and drink plenty of water. Rest is equally important, so respect your body's need for sleep and downtime. Taking care of your health sends a powerful message to yourself and others that you value life and are ready to live it fully. Over time, these small acts of care improve your energy and vitality, which is undeniably attractive. Humor is a gift that keeps us young at heart. It may seem spontaneous, but you can nurture it every day by finding joy in simple moments. Watch a funny show, share a lighthearted story, or allow yourself to laugh at your own mistakes. Humor helps release tension and builds connection. It is also a reminder not to take life too seriously, which can be a trap for older men trying to appear strong. Daily, look for reasons to smile and spread laughter. This practice will lighten your spirit and draw others toward you like a warm fire. Emotional resilience may be the hardest sign to build, but also the most rewarding. Life will throw challenges your way, and how you respond shapes your inner strength. Each day, take time to reflect on your emotions without judgment. Journaling can be a helpful tool to track your feelings and growth. Practice breathing exercises or meditation to calm your mind when stress rises. When faced with difficulties, remind yourself that setbacks are part of life's journey and not a reflection of your worth. Seeking support from friends, family, or a counselor is also a sign of resilience, not weakness. Daily nurturing of your emotional well-being builds a quiet strength that is felt deeply by those around you. Finally, authenticity is the heart of all these signs. Being true to yourself means living in alignment with your values and beliefs. It requires courage to say no when something does not feel right and to say yes to what resonates with your spirit. Each day, ask yourself if your actions reflect your true self or if you are wearing a mask to please others. Practicing honesty in small ways builds trust within and without. When you embrace your imperfections and show your real self, you invite others to do the same. This genuine presence is magnetic and lasting. Putting all these together, you can create a daily routine that honors these 7 signs of attractiveness. For example, start your morning with a moment of self-acknowledgement and gratitude. Move your body gently and nourish it well. Engage in conversations where you listen deeply and share openly. Find moments of humor and lightness throughout your day. Reflect on your emotions and practice resilience when challenges arise. End your day by affirming your authentic self and preparing for another day of growth. Remember, none of this requires perfection. It requires intention and patience. The beauty is in the journey, not the destination. You may stumble, feel tired, or lose your way sometimes. That is natural. What matters is returning to these practices with kindness toward yourself. Over time, these daily steps become habits that shape who you are and how you show up in the world. I have seen older men transform their lives by committing to these simple but profound practices. Their relationships deepen, their confidence shines, their joy returns. Their attractiveness grows from the inside out. You do not need to chase youth or try to be someone else. You simply need to honor the man you are becoming and live fully each day. So take these words as an invitation to start small, to choose 1 or 2 practices today, and build from there. Celebrate every step you take toward embodying confidence, kindness, conversation, health, humor, resilience, and authenticity. These signs are not just traits. They are ways of living that create a life worth loving and a presence worth being around. In the end, attractiveness is not about age. It is about the light you carry inside and how you share it with the world. Live your days with intention, openness, and care. You will find that the world responds in kind, and you will become the attractive older man you might not have realized you already are. How can recognizing and celebrating these signs in oneself empower older men to create deeper, more fulfilling connections? There is a quiet power that comes with recognizing the strengths within ourselves, especially as we age. For older men, this recognition is not just about boosting the ego or chasing fleeting pride. It is about a deeper awakening, a knowing that the qualities they carry are valuable and worthy of celebration. I speak from many years of life lived with both hardship and joy when I say that truly seeing and honoring these signs in oneself can transform how we relate to others, leading to connections that are richer, deeper, and more fulfilling than ever before. In my early years, I often struggled with doubt and uncertainty about my worth as I grew older. Society tends to shine the spotlight on youth, beauty, and vigor, leaving many men feeling invisible or less valuable. But over time, I learned that true attractiveness is not about clinging to what fades, but embracing what grows stronger. Wisdom, kindness, resilience, and authenticity. Recognizing these qualities within myself was like finding a light in a dark room. It gave me a new lens through which to see myself and, more importantly, how I related to others. When an older man acknowledges his confidence, for example, he no longer needs to hide behind false bravado or seek approval through external measures. Confidence, when truly recognized, is a steady flame that warms not only the self, but those around him. This self-awareness invites openness and honesty, qualities that others instinctively trust and are drawn to. I found that when I embraced my own confidence, I began to attract people who appreciated me for who I was rather than who I pretended to be. This shift alone can deepen relationships in ways that surface-level interactions never can. Celebrating kindness within oneself is equally transformative. Kindness is often overlooked as a form of strength, but it is one of the most potent signs of true attractiveness. When older men see their capacity for compassion and empathy, they begin to understand their own humanity more fully. This realization softens their hearts and allows for vulnerability, which is essential for meaningful connections. In my experience, relationships flourished when I allowed kindness to guide my actions rather than pride or fear. People sensed this genuine care and responded with trust and openness. Good conversation, another sign, becomes more than just small talk when recognized as a skill and a gift. Older men who celebrate their ability to listen deeply and engage thoughtfully open doors to profound connections. When you know your voice matters and your presence is valued, you step into conversations with authenticity rather than performance. This creates space for others to share themselves fully, leading to bonds built on mutual respect and understanding. I remember how my relationships changed when I stopped trying to dominate conversations and instead practiced the art of listening. It was as if a new world of connection opened before me. Physical health and vitality, while sometimes challenging with age, are also signs worth honoring. Recognizing the effort it takes to care for one's body fosters gratitude and self-respect. This self-care radiates outward, showing others that you value your life and want to be present for it. I learned that celebrating my body's resilience and nurturing it daily gave me a quiet pride that others noticed. It is not about chasing youthfulness, but honoring the strength and capability that remain. This appreciation creates a positive cycle, encouraging deeper engagement with life and relationships. Humor, the sign that keeps the spirit light, also deserves celebration. Recognizing your ability to laugh, to bring joy and ease to difficult moments, empowers you to create uplifting connections. I have seen how humor bridges gaps and diffuses tension, making relationships more resilient and joyful. When older men celebrate their playful side, they invite others to relax and enjoy their company without fear of judgment. This openness enhances bonds and makes connections more vibrant and real. Emotional resilience, perhaps the most profound of the 7 signs, becomes a foundation for deeper relationships when recognized and honored. Understanding that you have weathered storms and grown stronger through them builds a sense of inner security. This security allows you to be present with others without fear or defensiveness. I found that celebrating my resilience helped me approach relationships with patience and compassion rather than anxiety or neediness. It gave me the courage to face conflicts honestly and to hold space for others' struggles. This depth of emotional presence is what creates lasting, fulfilling connections. Authenticity, the final sign, is the cornerstone upon which all others rest. When older men recognize their true selves and celebrate the uniqueness of their journey, they step into relationships with honesty and integrity. This authenticity breaks down walls and invites others to do the same. It is a profound gift to be accepted for who you are, and when you offer that to others, connections naturally deepen. I have learned that living authentically requires courage, but also brings immense freedom. It releases the burden of pretense and allows love and friendship to flourish in their purest forms. Recognizing these signs in oneself is an act of empowerment because it shifts the focus from external validation to internal truth. When older men embrace their qualities, they no longer feel the need to prove their worth through achievements or appearances. Instead, they stand firm in their value simply because they exist. This inner peace radiates outward, attracting relationships based on respect, admiration, and genuine affection. Moreover, celebrating these signs helps older men break free from the limiting stories they may have carried for years. Many of us have faced messages that say aging means decline, invisibility, or loss of desirability. By consciously honoring the strengths that come with age, men rewrite these narratives. They reclaim their sense of purpose and joy. This shift in mindset changes how they interact with the world and the people in it. It opens doors to new experiences and connections that might have seemed impossible before. In my own life, this recognition transformed not only how I saw myself, but how my family and friends related to me. When I stopped hiding my vulnerabilities and instead embraced my full self, my relationships deepened in unexpected ways. I became more patient, more understanding, and more present. Others responded to that authenticity with love and trust. It felt as if a new level of connection had been unlocked. Older men who celebrate these signs also inspire those around them. They become beacons of hope and examples of what it means to age with grace and vitality. Younger generations look up to them not because of their youth, but because of the richness of their character. This ripple effect creates communities where deeper connections are valued and nurtured. Finally, recognizing and celebrating these signs is a daily practice, not a one-time event. It requires mindfulness and intention. It means pausing each day to reflect on your qualities, to give yourself credit for the strengths you bring, and to forgive yourself for moments of doubt or weakness. This ongoing self-awareness builds a foundation of self-love that is essential for deep, fulfilling connections. So I encourage older men to take time each day to look inward and celebrate the 7 signs of attractiveness within themselves. Speak kindly to yourself about your confidence, your kindness, your ability to engage, your care for your body, your humor, your resilience, and your authenticity. Let these qualities be your guide in relationships and in life. Watch how your connections deepen and how your spirit grows lighter. In the end, the most fulfilling relationships come not from trying to impress or please others, but from being fully seen and accepted for who you truly are. When you recognize and celebrate the signs of attractiveness you carry, you open the door to this kind of connection. You empower yourself to live fully and love deeply. And that, my friend, is the greatest gift you can offer both yourself and those around you. If you liked today's discussion, don't forget to like the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with every video we release. And yes, don't forget to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments. Every comment is special to us. Your feedback helps us improve further. We'll continue to meet you in every new video on this channel. So until next time, take care.